All right, guys, so we're pretty much well wrapped up here with the exception of gluing the bottom back onto the Tomcat. I think I'm actually going to save that until I know that everything works appropriately, but you can see this is how I do my wiring. It's about as tidied up as I think I can make it. I did leave in the factory UBEC, so that's an 8 amp UBEC, and what I did is I went ahead and soldered that into the new speed controller wire. Now the thing with this is again, remember the two speed controls underneath, the two Predators are SBECs, so they actually supply power into my receiver. Now they come up here and go off of a Y, because this thing being a 10 channel or 9 channel, I guess 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and this is the biggest 9 channel that I could get for here. I couldn't get a 10 and get one to fit, so I'm going with this one, and they're Y harnessed in both SBECs into here. So literally, let's call that 1 point of power through the SBECs, and those are two 5 amps. So in parallel, that's 10 amps, and then I have an 8 amp UBEC still in here. So if I lose this one, I have power here. If I lose those, I have power here, and they're both really enough to power this aircraft, because the only thing I replaced is 2 digital servos in the elevators, and they're not stalled, so it's not like you're 3D in this thing installing servos drawing a lot of amps. I think I have more than enough redundancy here for what this plane is. So it looks like we got to trim that thing off. All right, so now it's time to calibrate the speed controls. If you've never set up a dual motor speed control, I'm going to show you how to do that. So what I do is I made myself a jumper harness for both battery leads right here and into one connector, so you don't need to hook up both batteries simultaneously. I can do that with just one connector, and that's all I use this thing for. It's not great for anything other than this. So you're going to go ahead and turn the radio on all the way, turn the radio on, and then go up with throttle all the way, and then I will take this and position it here, and when I hook this up, you'll listen, you'll hear the 2 beeps. Come over here,
30 seconds,
throttle down, 6 beeps, and we're set. So fans are in. It's alive, it's alive. All right, so anyway, that's probably great footage, but it is time to charge up some batteries for this thing. It's late at night, so I'm going to get the cover and stuff back installed on this thing. In the morning, we're going to head over to a flea market. We're going to check that thing out, come home, charge up some batteries, and then we are going to finish our testing. So catch you later. Bye. All right, guys, here we go. So the version 2 Platinum FMS 2100 kV fans are now installed in the Freewing F14 Tomcat. We are still running fresh 5500 70C roaring top packs in our last comparison, but they are installed, they are calibrated, the ESCs are calibrated, and we're ready to go. So let's go ahead and get this thing fired up and see what kind of results we get. So again, the setup is absolutely identical, and again, we're a comparison of what we had before to what we have now. So we're looking to beat, roughly with no air, we had 8.3, 8.2, 8.1 right about in there with the old fans. So that was with some fan air added. You could see it just slightly higher, which proves airflow helps, I think. And I'm curious to see what we get on this run. So let's get this thing fired up, and we're gonna hope all the money and the work is worth it, because I just want to get Porky off the ground a little bit quicker. Let's get to it. So this is going to be run number 1, FMS version 2 Platinum fans. First installed, first run. So we will give a 5-second run up here and see what we get for numbers. Here we go.
time remaining 3 minutes.
So this will be our FMS version 2 Platinum fans, run number 2. So roughly 9.2 on that one. This is going to be run number 3 on the new fans, Platinum version 2 FMS. Run number 3 on the version 2 Platinum FMS fans. All right, guys, so last round of testing with the FMS version 2 2100 kV fans in the Freewing Motion RC F14 Tomcat. So now I have the fan put in front of the plane. It's pushing air. I can't measure how much air is being pushed out of there. I'm just trying to see if I increase any type of airflow, does it have effect on the numbers? It had a very small effect before with the old fan setup, so I'm curious to see if we see the slight increase. I ran the last set of batteries through the motors a little bit till it was worn down, just to kind of get the motors a little bit more break-in time, so we'll also see if that increases. So at the end of this test, what do we really learn? Well, if you look at the initial numbers, as we come to the initial numbers, we started with the old set at 8.3, 8.2, 8.1 realistically, and we pushed some air in front of it, 8.4s and 8.3s. So it goes up about 2 ounces. In this run, we're 8.10, 9.2, 9.5, getting stronger with the inrunners. So maybe that was a break-in thing. The question really was, with my Futura, I was running roughly 5.8, 5.6, 5.7, so we call it roughly 5.5 pounds of thrust. The question was, would it double when we put both units here? And I think we've proved that no, it's not going to double, but this number here was as high as 9.7. What I can tell you is what the numbers don't show, and the pull on this thing is immense compared to what it used to be. It is actually much stronger. So the numbers don't tell everything. Again, static thrust testing, especially this generic way that I'm doing, it doesn't tell everything. I'm just comparing different things under like conditions, if you will, and seeing what the results are. I need to get this thing off the ground sooner than what it does. I want to be able to loop it, roll it, and not really have any worries that this thing's going to impact. And if I could fly it well with the armament off grass, I'd be super happy with that. And that's part of the thing is I got to fly off grass with this thing. So at the end of this, if you're worried about the cost that you get into replacing motors, I'll be honest with you, this thing becomes a cost pig. So it's an expensive plane to begin with, and then if you want to get rid of the slop in the elevators, you got to make an investment in some different servos if that bothers you. You could fly it the way it is, and I'm sure it's just fine. It's preference. So there was another $100 for servos. Then, you know, what kind of batteries do you want to put in it? The battery tray modification, the deck modification, the extra pieces in the nose. So if you're going to do the nose support that I showed you earlier, with the threaded rod right up through the front with the wooden block on the top. So that's more. This fan upgrade with 2 ESCs and 2 motors is going to run you roughly $250. So the thing's a nice showpiece. I love flying it. I love taking it to the field, but I want to fly it and I want to be happy with it. And once you're already in so deep, what's a little bit more? So is it worth it to you? If the numbers work out, if I use 10 pounds of thrust from roughly 8.2, let's say we're 18 to 20% on the increase, somewhere in there. You're increasing the power by 20%. I think that's going to make a difference, but we don't know until we truly fly it. But more is going to be better, and especially I'm hoping for the efficiency factor. So that's what I hope to get out of all of this. It was worth it for me to try. I want to share the information. Take away from it what you will, but at the end of the day, it's some base numbers with the testing that I have available to me to run, which is modular, generic, just like anybody else out there. So the one thing that I can tell you is that Dustin Holloman, a good friend of mine, we've been kind of communicating over Facebook a long time. I ran my very first initial test with more of a luggage scale than this fish scale, and our numbers were very compatible or comparable back then at roughly 7 pounds of thrust on this thing. When I got this new scale, it's at 8. Okay, so you think the scale's different, the scale's off. My Futura numbers were the same. So why this thing is different, why now I'm getting a pound more thrust than what I was with the old system, old system, different scales, why is it more? I don't know. But we're still increased over what I am now. And you're only going to pull so much air through those ducts. They're not very big. They have inlets on the side, that type of stuff. So more is more. Is it worth it to you? Make your own decision. You can comment down below if you wish. I hope you guys liked the video. We're going to get to these last numbers. Again, if you like it, subscribe, share this stuff with your friends, hit that bell notification. I try and throw together a lot of cool videos for you guys. I hope you enjoy them. Again, like the page. I like to get the numbers up there, the number count. It's pretty cool. I love sharing information with you guys. I hope you you enjoy it, and let's get to these numbers. All right, so what did we find out? So first off, I don't know if there's really a true break-in to these motors. They're inrunners. The numbers are higher, but this is literally the first time these motors have ever been run. So given them the fact that maybe they're going to break in a little bit, let's look at the numbers and see what happens. So our first run with our Tomcat with the old motors, 8.3, 8.2, 8.1, and we seen some decrease and fall off. We added some air. We got 8.4, 8.3, 8.3, so a little bit higher across the board. Here on the first fresh run of these fans, 8.10, 9.2, and 9.5. So does that support the fact that, you know, these things need to be broken in a little bit? And if you caught the glimpse in that third run, we were up at 9.7. So as far as thrust goes, we're a pound and a half higher than we were with the stock. Is it better? Yes. Should it be more efficient as an inrunner compared to an outrunner? I think so. But my question was, can we almost double what the Futura was? And if we look at the Futura with just one, we were about 5.5, so that gets us to 11. So we're definitely not quite double, but it is an improvement. The question is the improvement worth the money? And I don't think we'll truly know that until we fly this thing, but more power can't be a bad thing. Let's get the packs recharged. Let's throw the fan in front of them. Let's run these packs down a little bit just to give the motor some break-in time. Let's see what the next set of packs brings and see if our results change. F14 Tomcat. This is the version 2 FMS Platinum fans running on the 5500 Roaring Top 70Cs. This is going to be test run number 1 with air added to the front, and we are going to do roughly a 5-second run. Let's see what we get. Holy cow. All right. That may be more what I'm looking for. 10.13. All right. That may be the cat's meow. Motors need breaking in, or is it the air? Let's get to run number 2. Here we go, FMS version 2, Platinum fans, run number 2 with air.
3 minutes.
We're going to call that 11.5. Take this back. We can call that one 10.8. So let's do this. These numbers are much different than the first time around. Let's turn that airflow off. I know we're at run number 4 and we've really not done 4 runs. Got slack there. All right, so here we go, run number 4. Fairly fresh set of batteries, platinum fans, no air in the front. Let's see what happens. I would call that 1010 at its peak. And just since we're here, let's call it run number 5. This time we're going to have no air again, just to see what we get. All right. So where's my takeaway on this one? I told you it felt a lot stronger. I think the motor break-in may have made the difference, because when I took away the air again, it took away a little bit, but on the average, if you look at the average of this, guys, we are at, let's just call this 1010 when this is all said and done. You got a 10.13 and 11.5, a 10.8, a 10.10. Again, those were with air, so I think you see, you know, a slight increase on the average if we call it 10.10. So here's the trade-off, right, when we look at this. Old motors were 325 grams. The new ones are 329. So it makes a difference of a total of 8 grams. The old speed controls is where this comes into play a little bit more. 109 grams. The new one's 135, and those are hundreds compared to what was in there. I think those were 80s. So the difference of 26 grams per 52. So a total of 60 grams difference, and that works out to be 2 ounces. So 2 ounces difference. I can guarantee I cut an ounce of foam out of there in order to get the fans, in order to get those fans mounted in there. So 1 extra ounce of weight. If we go with these numbers, that's substantially higher than a 20% increase in thrust. Let's just say we even bottom this out at 10.5. Guys, that is almost double what my Futura was getting with one of these motors. That may, you know, that's almost a third of an increase in thrust. I told you it felt different. Am I going to be happy with this? I think so. At the end of the day, what's the worst that happens? If we bury the plane, I got 2 FMS units and I got to go looking for some ARFs. So anyway, there's the numbers. If you ask me, it's worth the 250 bucks. Go buy yourself a set of platinum fans. If you want to upgrade with what Motion RC has, I don't think you're going to go wrong with those 1900 inrunners. I think they're more efficient. I think they need some break-in. I think this is going to do nothing but get better. The tubes are sealed. I showed you guys how to do the sealing of the tubes. I showed you what my SBEX and UBEX are doing. I hope you like it, subscribe, share this stuff, comment down below with your thoughts. And if you got one of these, go for it. If not, if you have another 80 mil EDF, man, I love these platinum fans and I love the way they sound. So peace out, till next time.